So
Okay, this is the state when we turn it on.
Yeah.
plus load strain. Enable the machine. That basically gives the load strain. You enable the load strain controller so you can move. If you want to point towards that,
Yeah.
you can. You basically can enable this.
Enable with the E. And now we can move it up and down. Go ahead, you. Very good. All right, now go through the next part.
Press the button which is under block.
Yeah.
Then press the one that says on the side. Okay, so amplitude has to be negative for to show that it's going to be rising upwards. So just set an amplitude using these buttons over here for negative 250.
Okay, so negative 250
What's the
is being typed in here.
millimeter?
Yeah.
Type in using the keypad.
Then you set the rate. The rate has to be positive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I used to set it as 20. You press and enter. So that is done. So that now the parameters have been set. Now you want to calibrate the machine for the load cell that it's using.
Okay, so let's stop it. Okay, go to our.
So you press calibrate.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the
This
calibrate.
Yeah. And then it'll say identify. Press enter once,
Yeah.
and then it'll say 1 kilonewton. So 10 to the power 3 newtons, 1 kilonewton, and press enter again. And now it's going to calibrate this load cell,
Yeah.
and it's going to give you. And when this light stops blinking, basically, is when it's the machine knows that what kind of load cell it's using.
And what? Okay.
It takes like
And
a
how?
while.
And
Okay.
there it goes. And now it's calibrated.
Yes. So once you put the fixture in, the load will obviously increase. And if anytime when you want to start the load from scratch, press the balance load, press balance.
It's yeah. Some places call it a 0, right?
Yeah, so it'll say balance, press enter, and it'll basically take some time, and then it's going to balance the load. So any load you put onto it is basically, it's going to
Zero it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this calibration and balancing are the two main steps that have to precede this, and they have to do with calibrating the load cell and balancing the load cell.
Okay. The last important thing that you need to know about the machine is that, so you see that the initial displacement that we could have set by moving the fixture up, by moving
In
the
fact, well, if it moves, go ahead.
So
Yeah, there. U has just moved it a little bit.
So now it's 36. Okay, so now let's say if you want to set it to 0. So there's a button over here. It says reset GL.
Reset.
So
okay, GL. Reset.
yeah, so you press this button. It says reset extension. Press enter, and it'll go to 0.
Zero.
Okay. So right before you start any test, you go ahead and do that as well.
Yeah.
So you redefine your 0 point.
Yeah. Right.
And initially, when I put that 10 Newton load in to start the load, before I start the test, I make sure that this is starting from 0, so I know how the initial displacement is occurring as well.
Right. Okay, now you said you were going to run the test at 20 millimeters per minute.
Yes.
How do you set that?
So that was a rate that we set initially. So
That's already set.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So we're now ready to run the test.
Okay.
So presumably we've all set up the fixture already. The specimen is in place. The next thing we want to do is preload it to 10 newtons.
Yeah. So when you do that, you have to make sure you only use. So you make sure you only use the smaller speed. So you initially, let's say you initially just load it a bit.
And you'll see the load go up.
Yeah, and you'll see how much the displacement is going up as well.
Right.
It's honestly like about a millimeter only, but once you do that, and it's already loaded to 10 newtons, approximately 10 newtons, you reset this again, you reset the extension and you make it start from 0. And then once that's done, you start the machine.
Okay.
And
And
this
starting the machine is now moving the crosshead at a very slow rate. And we
Yeah.
can see that the crosshead is changing. Of course, the load is not changing because there's nothing in the test right now. But the test is running. Okay, now, there is no way right now to save this data.
No, I know that they've connected to the computer somehow, but I'm not sure how they're using it or how
The
they.
computer over here on the side.
Yeah, I've heard that it works. I'm not sure, and I've heard that they installed a new software so that they can get a they can pull out the data from the machine. I'm just not sure how they're doing it.
Okay. All right.
I can figure it out. I saw James from Professor Cockridge
Yeah, exactly.
are using this machine to record the load displacement.
Also,
Okay,
Peter,
very good. Then we'll get his advice.
And Peter
so we
as well.
and Peter's yeah. So we have other students who have used this machine. Is there anything else before I turn off this video?
Well, just basically knowing how to stop. So once you're done with it, you basically just stop it. You stop the data, and then when you press return, it goes back to it. The cross head goes back to its original position, so, and you can see the displacement going back to 0 then. So that's the only thing that you need to know then.
And there is the end of one test.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.